Today I'm going to demonstrate how I knook lace. That's knitting lace with a crochet hook. I'm going to focus on technique rather than a specific pattern. These are the two swatches that I'm going to make today. So lace is created by pairing yarn overs, which are these little holes, with various different decrease methods. So let's take a look at a lace chart to show you what I mean. So the circle represents the yarn overs, and the backward slash means a decrease, in this case a left-leaning decrease. In lace, every yarn over must be balanced by a decrease somewhere on the row, otherwise your fabric would grow and shrink. So you can see we have 3 increases and 3 decreases. Let's have a go at following this chart. Okay, so this is my swatch. As you can see, I've already worked quite a bit of the pattern here. So these are the 19 stitches that are on the chart, and then I just have some garter stitch on the side there to keep it from rolling. Okay, so I'm going to start by just doing the edge garter stitch, and I'm on to row 5 of the pattern. And so we can look at row 5 and we can see that just those white squares, they just mean stockinette stitch. So that's knitting on the front, purling on the back. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stitches. So I'm just going to knit 5 stitches. And then we've come to our first symbols. So here we have the circle and the slash. So the circle is just the yarn over. So we simply just put the yarn around the hook like so. So you take it from the back and round to the front. That's it. That's as simple as a yarn over gets. And then next we need to do a decrease because this counts as an increase. So our decrease is left leaning, which means we want to take 2 stitches on the hook and we want to do it towards the left. So I'm going to pick up 2 stitches, going towards the left, yarn over, come through the 2 stitches, and then we've decreased those 2 stitches into 1 stitch. So you can see here we've got my 4 garter stitches, and then we've got the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 knit stitches, and then we have 2 stitches on our hook, which is the yarn over and the decrease. So we are still 7 stitches from the edge, and we've done, so we know that we've got the right amount of stitches on our hook there. So the next part of the chart is just to knit 2, so we do that. There you go. And then we're just repeating that again. So it's another yarn over, so I'll wrap the yarn around my hook and a left leaning decrease. And so we're going to pick up 2 stitches going towards the left, and that's the decrease done. And again we have 2 knit stitches, and it's the final one, yarn over, and then the decrease going towards the left. So pick up 2 stitches and knit them together. And then we finish with 4 knit stitches. So and then I've got my 4 edge stitches to do. There we go. We finished the row. So you can always count your stitches and make sure you have the right amount, especially if you're just starting out, to make sure that you haven't missed an increase or a decrease somewhere. So time to go on to the purl side. Okay, so we are now on the wrong side of the work. You can see all of the purl stitches. And on this pattern, all we're going to do is it's just stockinette stitch. So that just means we're going to purl all the way along. So you want to be careful when you are doing chart work, because sometimes a chart doesn't show you the wrong side. The numbers down the side will go from 1, 3, 5, 7, etc. Obviously this chart, it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, so it does have the wrong side rows on the chart, but that's just something to keep in mind if you are reading charts. So let's start with my edge stitches. And because there's nothing to do on this row other than purl all the way along, that's what we're going to do. So we purl every stitch. So you can see here that this stitch looks slightly different, and that's because this is the decrease stitch. So it has two purl bumps on the end there, because that's the 2 stitches together. But doesn't matter, we just purl it as normal. And then the yarn over. So I don't think it's that hard to miss them, because It's obviously a stitch. It doesn't look as tight as this one, but there's definitely something there, but do keep an eye out for them. And I'm just going to do it as normal. And then we have another decrease here. So then I know that because I've got a decrease here, that my next stitch is going to be a yarn over. So there we go. And just purl it as normal. And I'm just going to work my way all the way along, purling every stitch. And back onto the right side again. So not so bad, right? So let's take a look at something slightly more complex. I'm using complex loosely here because it's the same principle. We're still balancing yarn overs with decreases. Alongside the left leaning decrease, we now have a right leaning decrease and a centre double decrease, which removes 2 stitches at once. So even if you don't recognise a symbol on a chart, the logic remains the same and you could probably figure it out what this symbol means. So a circle is always a +1, that's your yarn over, and the other symbols are always decreases. So you can see here we have the -1s next to the +1s. So if you see 2 yarn overs but only 1 decrease symbol, that symbol is a double decrease, taking out 2 stitches at once. So it could be a left-leaning decrease, or a right-leaning decrease, or it could be a centered double decrease. Let's take a look at how these new decreases are done. Okay, so again, I have my swatch here, and I've actually done 2 pattern repeats already, and some garter stitch again on the side. So I'm just going to knit up to where the pattern repeats, and I'm on row 5 again. So I'm just going to knit up until I get to the first symbol. So I'm at the point where we've made the first symbols, and it's just the same as in the last tutorial. So it's a yarn over and then the left leaning decrease. Done. And then we're going to knit 3. And then we come to a right leaning decrease. So again, we're going to put 2 stitches on the hook, but we're going to do so towards the right. So this is the stitch that we want to be on top. So we'll enter this stitch first. And then we'll just lift this stitch up, put that on the hook, yarn over, and pull through 2. So you can see there we've got the stitch that's leaning towards the right. So what I do find with this stitch is it can sometimes be a bit messy. I don't know why, and it has pulled on the legs. So what I like to do, which actually also makes this stitch easier to do, is before I go into the stitch on the left, I just pull on this stitch here, just to make that one a little smaller. Then I go into that stitch, and then it actually makes it easier to get this stitch on the hook. Yarn over and pull through. You can see it looks a little cleaner there. What you can also do is if you are struggling to get into the second stitch and you can't quite get it the right way, it doesn't matter which way you enter this stitch because it's going to be hidden behind the one before. So if we just look at the previous ones, you can see the stitch is hidden behind. So it doesn't really matter if it's twisted. So, I mean, try your best to do it correctly. But if you can't, and you want to just lift up the stitch and enter your hook, see I've entered the stitch twisted there. And you really can't tell because the stitch on the top is covering it. So that's a few different ways to do the right leaning decrease. Then we just have a yarn over. I'm going to knit to the end, and then we'll move on to the center double decrease. Okay, so I'm at the point of row 9 where I need to do my yarn over, my center double decrease, and a yarn over. So yarn over, easy enough. Now for the center double decrease, it's sort of in the name, so we want to go into the center stitch first because this is the stitch that we want to be on the top. And then I like to just go into the left hand stitch because it's easier. Then go around the back, find where stitch we missed is. Again, doesn't matter if this is twisted, just get it on the hook however you can. Yarn over and then pull through all 3. And then what I do love about Knooking is you can take a look at it. And if you think, oh, that doesn't look right, you can just undo it. And because we're working on a lifeline, the stitches are right there, so you can try again. So let me show you that again. Again, if you know you're going to struggle to get into this stitch at the end, you can just pull it up and make it a little bit bigger. So we're going to go into the center stitch, then the next stitch, then we swing back around, pick up the stitch that we skipped, yarn over, knit through all three. So we've got 3 stitches into one, and that center stitch is on the top. So like I said, the stitch that you want to be on the top is the stitch that you go in first. So if we wanted it to be left leaning, we know that we want to enter the stitches going towards the left. So 1, 2, 3, yarn over, and then we have it's leaning towards the left, but we've got 3 stitches into one. And then if we want it leaning towards the right, then again, pull up that stitch to make that one a little bit tighter, into that stitch, and then we're just going to go into these 2 stitches, yarn over, pull through all 3, and there we go. We've decreased 3 down to 1 with right leaning decrease. But this pattern calls for a center double decrease, so I'm going to go into the middle one first, then that stitch, pick up the last one, yarn over, pull through all 3, and then we have the center double decrease. Yarn over, and then I'm going to knit to the end. That's the core of knooking lace. Once you understand yarn overs and decreases, any lace pattern is possible. There are more complex symbols out there, but if you're just starting out, the ones I showed today, plus an understanding of lace logic, should get you pretty far. So good luck and happy knooking!